What's up guys, Ghost here, back with some more CTE changes in the Battlefield service here, and DICE have been implementing a number of great improvements for the attack jet. Finally, some of the things that we've been asking for a long time. So I'm sure after seeing the footage here, you guys can already figure some of them out. The biggest one for me is that they have given you an option so you can change the camera so it no longer rolls with the jet anymore. This is the way that it used to be in Battlefield 3. It was much better for dogfighting in my opinion, and in most other people's opinions as well. It's far better for your spatial awareness and just generally speaking, a lot easier to dogfight with an enemy jet. Now the second awesome change that they've made is they've gone and put in a second FOV slider for vehicles only. So you can now change this for the vehicles, and as you can see, my field of view in third person mode for the jet here is quite a lot wider than it used to be. I actually did turn this down somewhat. It was kind of wide for me, the default setting. It was kind of a bit fish-eyed, and even though I could see a lot of the battlefield and it gave me great spatial awareness, especially in dogfighting, it became really difficult for me to actually shoot targets in third person mode, especially whilst flying the stealth jet. But nonetheless, a great change there. Some people might prefer a higher field of view to me. And you're also going to notice that they've put a cursor on the screen. Personally, to me, that doesn't really make much of a difference. I suppose it might make taking out targets in third person a little bit easier than it was before, but to be honest with you, I kind of just visualize that in my mind and use that to aim with. Apparently, the reason they did this is actually because some people already draw on their monitors with a Sharpie to try and gain an advantage. Personally, I probably wouldn't want to draw on my monitor with a marker pen, but I don't know, I don't really need to do that. I find you can just visualize a crosshair in your mind anyway. Next, they have reduced the head flinching animation in third person mode for the soldiers. So if you don't know what head flinching is, essentially the way that the characters react in Battlefield 4 to being shot, especially in the head, is supposed to be realistic, but it doesn't really make for a very good gameplay mechanic. So if somebody's got their head just peering over some sort of an obstacle and they're able to shoot you with their rifle, despite the fact that you can only see their head, what would usually happen is you would hit them in the head with one bullet, their character would do that flinching animation to one side, meaning the rest of your follow-up shots would miss their head, but on their screen they would just be completely stationary and able to fire at you with will. Now on top of these changes, they're also making a number of changes to the UI, and first of all, they're starting here with the triage system. So the triage system will give you an on-screen representation of how long one of your teammates has before you can't revive him anymore. So you can see there, you got a little circle, just like when you're capturing a conquest flag, and eventually it will become depleted, and then you can no longer revive that guy. So this is really going to change up infantry play. First of all, it allows you to prioritize who you're going to revive first, but not only that, it also allows you to charge up your paddles. You know, sometimes previously you wouldn't bother charging your paddles because you suspected the guy on the floor only had a couple of seconds before you would miss that revive, or you would walk halfway across the map to revive somebody only to get there and have their body be unrevivable. So now with this new on-screen indication, no more wasted trips across the map and no more wasted revives. They've increased the gunship cooldown to 60 seconds for the commander, which is another great change. The gunship was a little bit spammy. I can definitely tell you as an attack jet pilot that as soon as I took that thing out, it was back up within a number of seconds, so that's another good change. And finally, another good UI change to obliteration mode, which has been a long time coming and something that many people have been requesting since the beta, I believe. And that is that the icon in obliteration when you're carrying the bomb will now no longer be displayed constantly. Instead, it will blink every 5 to 10 seconds. So this actually gives you a fighting chance if you're carrying the bomb to get away from some enemies. Say you come to a crossroads and you can go left or right. Hopefully, the enemies on the other side of the map aren't going to know which way you went based on the UI. However, if you do climb into a vehicle, you will be displayed on the enemy's UI the entire time. I guess that's kind of fair since, you know, if you're in a vehicle, in a tank, you're able to repair, etc. It's a bit more overpowered than just being on infantry on foot. So there you go guys, some fantastic changes, I think you'll agree, especially those jet ones. So many people have been requesting that and saying that, you know, the Battlefield 3 way was so much better, especially considering the cameras than in Battlefield 4. So I'm so happy that they've changed that. It's going to make dogfights not just feel better and be easier to play out, but much more cinematic as well, and I think it'll look much cooler in videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.